You guys are just the absolute best. I am so excited to see that. I had to quickly think about how to solve this issue. And no sooner have I sent out the link that I'm seeing we already have people who've joined. So, first of all, I want to applaud you and I want to thank you so much for your patience. I've been going crazy trying to reach the webinar host and the technical issue I was having. So it seems their system is down, and coincidentally it's at the time when I'm having my webinar, but that doesn't stop us. We have to find a solution. And that's the thing I love about being an entrepreneur, is that sometimes things don't work out the way you expect them to work out, but you have to figure out a solution and you have to be quick. And the thing that really helped me come up with this solution is to say, you know what, the thing I am prepared to do today is to provide you with value and provide you with answers to questions you've been asking. Is that the only platform I can use? So I quickly just opened up my email. I'm like, okay, send out an email, put this on Facebook, and I'm so glad to see you here. So karibu, karibu. I know I'll make this as valuable for you as possible, and I'm really like, you have no clue how I'm so happy that you're here. So I'm going to make this worth your while. So welcome. My name is Jacqui, and I'm a digital marketing strategist and coach. And today I want to talk to you about how you can use Facebook ads to grow your business. What's the best way to do this for your business to get new customers, and how will this help you in your business? So that's what we're going to talk about. So welcome to everybody who's here. I'm so glad that you're here. And I see we have the chat, the live chat. So you can always use that to ask me any questions you may have, and also to engage with me in any way. And I'll also be sharing with you, just as a heads up, I'll be sharing with you more about a training program that I have. It's a digital marketing online training program where I go into more detail around how you can set up your ads for success. So I'll tell you more about that. And I'll tell you what offer I have for you in the process. And then I look forward to seeing you there and working with you long term. So let's get started. So I'd prepared a presentation, which now I can't show you because I'm on YouTube Live, but I'm going to talk through it and do my best to make sure that you get to understand. So first things first, I want to talk about your focus. Actually, let's talk about lighting a fire. So you know how if you ever played this as a kid using a magnifying glass to set a piece of paper on fire, right? Did you ever play that game? And then you saw that if you use the sun's rays, that after a while you'll be able to see smoke on this fire, on this paper, and you can actually light a paper using a magnifying glass. Yet, if you go outside and use that same, like the sun's rays, if you take that piece of paper outside and you put it out in the sun, it won't light up, because the sun's rays, when concentrated with a magnifying glass, will help create such intensity that it will light the paper on fire. And why am I telling you this? It's the same thing with your attention. When you are attentive, when you're focused on something, you're able to light up because your focus is like a magnifying glass. It can literally create a fire and light up your business. But when your attention is everywhere, when your attention is on so many different things, it won't have the same effect, because instead of being focused on one thing, it's all over the place. So you're doing this, you're doing that, you're trying all these different things. And the reason they don't work is because you're not focused enough on one thing. That's the sun that's getting to me. You're not focused enough on one thing to really light it on fire. So even now that you're here, I ask that you focus your attention, and let's not spend this period we're going to spend on with different things going on, calls coming in, messages, and all that. If you can focus your attention, then you'll be able to get the most out of this period that we're going to be together. So is that cool? Do I have your agreement on that? Let me know in the chat section if you can hear me. Just give me a 9 in the chat section if you can hear me. Then I'm sure that I can actually, because maybe these technical issues are beyond the webinar platform. So let me just make sure that if you can hear me, just enter 9 in the chat section, and then let me know, because yeah, I don't want it to be that I'm talking and you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Let me know by giving me a 9 in the chat section. Give me a 9. Ah, good stuff. Kyoko, thank you. You're the first person to give me a 9. If I had an award for you, you would definitely get it. Kyoko, thank you. Janet, thank you. All right. So at least I'm sure we can hear each other. So let me start by telling you about my journey when I started business and why this is going to be relevant for you. Because what I'm going to share with you is what I learned. And if I knew then what I know now, I would have done things differently. So, as I mentioned, my name is Jacqui Mwangi, and I'm a digital marketing strategist and coach. I run 10x Marketing, which is a digital marketing school where I train entrepreneurs on how to do their Facebook ads, how to do actually the entire digital marketing well. So, how do you engage with people? How do you create messages? How do you set up your accounts? How do you even roll out your ads and make sure that they're working? How do you know what to measure for? So, we go into a lot more detail on that program. And when I started my business, so at that time when I started my business, I started by doing mystery shopping. And mystery shopping is a service where you go into, let's say, restaurants, clients' premises, take flights, go to hotels and stuff like that, assess the service delivery of those places, and then report back to the company or to the directors or the owners or the managers of the business how things are on ground in terms of how their customers are being treated. So I was dealing with a lot of larger companies and corporates. And when I first started, I actually started when I was still employed. So I had this idea. I thought it was a good idea. I start this company. I hired somebody to run it because I had a 9 to 5. So I was like, I can't really do this on my own. So I hired somebody to do it for me. And if I knew then what I know now, instead of hiring somebody to do it for me and to get me leads, because that's what I wanted them to do business development, I would have done what I'm going to teach you today. Because this would have made a bigger impact in my business and helped me build my brand a lot faster than it did eventually. Because when I understood how to use Facebook ads, it actually switched, my business actually switched, because then I started helping my clients and helping other people do the same thing. And the next thing I knew, I was actually now in digital marketing. So what I'm going to teach you is so powerful that you can actually turn it into a business, and you can in addition to turning it into a business, you can use it to grow your business. And you can use it to talk to corporate clients, B2B, as people like to call it, business to business, or business to consumer, the end user. What I like to say is there's no business to business or business to consumer. There's person to person. Because if you think about it, even in the corporate, like a business is really just walls and a building and a structure. A building doesn't make decisions. Somebody within the organization makes decisions. So if you're trying to say that Facebook ads don't work because you're thinking, but I'm dealing with businesses, let me tell you, it works. I used it in my business when we're doing mystery shopping, and it works. Because what you want is to reach the decision maker of the business, not the business. The business is just a building. The building doesn't make any decisions. It doesn't do anything. You want to reach the decision maker, and that's what social media is good for, because everybody's on one platform or another. It just depends on which one they use more often. my CEO, and back then I was in a telco. So this is a large organization. And my CEO was on Facebook. He actually sent me a friend request one time. And I went to him because I thought it was like a hacked account. I asked him, did you send me a friend request? He said, yeah, I saw you on suggested and I sent you a friend request. Asked him, you use Facebook? He said, yeah, I have kids, I have grandkids. I communicate with them. I see what they're up to. I have my peers. We discuss things around telco. So yeah, I'm on Facebook. Like it's useful for him. He was the CEO of a whole telco and he's on Facebook. So it tells you, like, sometimes you're thinking, some people are not on Facebook. People are. People communicate with people who are in high school with. They find their past ex-girlfriends, like people who they liked hanging out with. People have found family members on Facebook that they didn't know they had. So it's actually really useful. So it's a very useful platform. And what you need to know is how to use it to get the attention of the person you need to get the attention of. If you have the right message that will get them to take action, like get their attention and get them to take action. So that's what we're going to cover today. So, there's something I want to talk to you about called a flywheel, and it's a pity I can't show you this diagram, but a flywheel is something that was made famous by Jim Collins' Good to Great. I actually brought out my copy here. So this is Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, and I would recommend that you get it. And he talks about a flywheel being like building this system that's able to give your business momentum in terms of growth. So there are three parts to it. There's the part of your client, attracting your client. There's the part about engaging them. And then there's the part about getting them to then promote you. So turning them into an ambassador by delighting them. So when you look at most people's flywheels and the reason they don't have one, or it's broken, or it's not working, is because you don't have a constant stream of new customers getting into your business. And that hurts you in many ways than one. One, in the short term, it will hurt you in that you won't have, if you don't have many customers in your pipeline, then the problem you're going to have is you're going to spend too much time focusing on very few people, which means you're going to give them more. You're going to give people who may not even be interested in buying a lot more attention. Because if you only have 3 leads to deal with in, say, a month, then you focus a lot on those 3 leads. When if you had a larger pipeline, you would spend more time trying to figure out who is actually worth spending a lot more time with so that you can pursue that person. So that's the first way it hurts you in the short run. In the long run, it prevents you from creating a repeatable system of being able to get customers, on a regular, so that you can build a business that is not like, one of those businesses that you make money one month and then you don't the next month, and it's a roller coaster. Sometimes you're extremely broke, sometimes you're loaded, like that. So you want to create a business that's a bit more consistent. Yes, it still goes through seasonalities, but it's not affected as significantly. And that's the reason why, if you look at sometimes banks when they refuse to lend entrepreneurs, it's because, 1 month you have almost zero revenue, the next month you have a lot of revenue, the next month. So you have this roller coaster that prevents you from really growing your business, because you're moving between panic and wow, things are great, and panic and oh my goodness, wow, and panic. And that's not the best way to run a business long term. And it's very, you'll have ulcers and God knows what, right? So you want to build consistency in your business. And the beauty about Facebook ads is, so a couple of things that are really great about Facebook ads. It's one of the most advanced, actually the most advanced platform I have seen, and I have used a number of them, in being able to accurately pick out the people who you need to pick out, the person who you want to talk to, your ideal customer. That platform is more advanced in being able to do that. It's also a more advanced platform in being able to reach people, it's got over 9 million people on Facebook in Kenya, monthly active users, and even more than that around the world, of course, in billions. But you're able to reach a wide market. And the platform, the way it gives you the reporting, it's so advanced that you're able to have metrics that you can use to measure how much it's costing you to get each customer, how long it's taking you to reach each customer. The retargeting works way better than any other platform. And by retargeting, it means that if, say, today you see Jacqui Mwangi's ad and you engage with it, but then somewhere in between a phone call comes in or something happens, you get distracted, I'm able to retarget you either with the same ad or a different ad very, very effectively. So it's a fantastic platform for that. And the beauty about this platform as well is, and this is the same, like when it comes to social media platforms and social media marketing, is as a business owner, as a small business owner or a growing business owner, it gives you the opportunity to have access to the same platforms that can grow your business as larger companies do. So it's such an amazing platform. And I'm speaking from experience. If you've ever seen any of my ads or engaged with any of my ads, and maybe that's even why you're here, you'll find that there's a way in which I do my ads that's different from a lot of the other ads that you've seen, because there's actually a method to that madness, so to speak. And the first thing you want to do is to make sure that, actually, just before I talk about the thing that you should do, let me talk about what you should avoid, because then we'll go to what you should do after you avoid these things. Because I don't want, if you're running ads right now, that you continue to do these things going forward. Like, I want you after this to stop doing things that are hurting your business and do the things that are actually going to help you generate traffic, generate growth, build your flywheel, that client attraction. So the flywheel for your business with client attraction, engagement, and delighting them. So they become your ambassadors, turning them into ambassadors, which means you do have to be providing value. So I'm going to come from a point of, you already have a great product, you're already providing value. Now let's talk about what you should not do on these platforms if you're already using them, right? So first thing that I see, are we still together? Okay, we're still together. Kyoko, Janet, are we still together? All right. So the first thing that I want you want to avoid, actually, is boosting posts. So if you're boosting posts, you'll notice that first, you have a lot less control than I will when I'm using the platform correctly. And a lot of people boost posts, but boosting posts actually is what we call the Facebook fireplace. It's where you go to burn your money. So you want to use the platform in a way where you can be more detailed in the matrix, the things that you select for your ad. That's who you want it to be seen by, where you want it to be placed, because some places will give you better results than other places. So it's boosting a post, not the best thing. You're just creating popularity on a post that may not have been the best anyway. So you're now taking this thing that wasn't great, it wasn't converting, and then you're putting money on it. And unfortunately, if it wasn't a great post, it also will not do well. The other thing that I notice is people's messaging. So you've got so many messages that people are exposed to every day. So every day you'll have your potential customer sees over 1,000 messages, people asking them to buy things, people asking them to do things. And your message just jumps onto, like, it just joins this list when it doesn't get their attention. When you don't understand what image to use, how to use power words in your headlines, or how to create headlines that actually get people interested, and how to convert within the copy of the ad. Because the thing that happens is people will see it. So 100% of people will see the picture. Those who are interested will see the picture. Now, only 80% will read the headline, because depending on the picture, they may or may not be interested. They'll read the headline. Then only 20% will go beyond that and read the copy. So you want to make sure that you create such good, you select such a good image, you create such a great headline that now gets them to continue. And that headline now transitions them into the copy of the message. And that's in the message where you're now telling them about the value you provide. You're giving them more details about what it is that you have to offer. Right? So that's another thing. Your message, if your message is ineffective, you're just spending money promoting something that works. The other thing that I notice people doing is when you have, let's say, an ad that just has your picture of what it is that you're selling and the price. Nothing of interest other than the price, and maybe a discount that you have. So if it's 50% off or 20% off, that's all you have. And that kind of ad is not going to be effective. And that's another thing that I notice a lot of people doing. Then what else do I notice? So there's boosting posts, there's your message, there's not knowing what you need to measure for. So if you're looking at things like popularity metrics, like likes and all that, likes are good for you to be able to see what is resonating with people, but it's not the only metric you should be looking at, or the only number that you should be looking at. The numbers that you should be looking at are more aligned. They should be more aligned with what is actually getting you the conversion, what is actually getting you a customer at the end of the day. So that's the number. Those are the numbers that you need to look at. And you need to also understand how to set it up in a way, or how to set up your ad on the platform in a way that gets you more traffic, because the algorithm just doesn't give you traffic because you're paying them. They give you more traffic when your ad is engaging. So if you have an ad that gets people's attention and gets them to engage more, chances are you're actually going to get, not chances, you're going to get more traffic, you're going to pay less for it. Right? Cool. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you get, like what's resonating with you. So I'm happy that you can hear me, and I'm happy for the 9s, but do let me know when you hear something that really does resonate with you. So I was on the part of setting it up on the platform. So understanding how to set up your ad on the platform so that you can get more traffic sent to your ad than to other ads that are competing with you. Whether they're competing with you in the same space, they're your competitors, or they're competing with you in terms of the attention of the same person you guys are both going after. Right? Cool. So let me know. Are we still together? All right. I see we still have a number of people. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, another thing you want to look at is so we talked about your matrix. Actually, let me just recap what we've talked about. We've talked about boosting posts and the disadvantage of that. We've talked about your message, not having just your price and a picture with your price. You have to know how to select the right image, how to select a compelling headline, and also convert within the copy of your ad, within the body of your ad. And then we've talked about knowing what the algorithm wants to see, what it likes, what it hates. Because if you do a lot of the stuff that it hates, either it will not give you traffic or you'll get banned, and you don't want that. And then we've also talked about the matrix that you're going to measure to know whether your ad is successful or not. Right? Cool. So those are the things that you should avoid. Now let's talk about the things that you should do the things that will help make your ads profitable. First is your customer, your audience, the person you select, your niche. This person who is your ideal customer, who has the problem that you're solving. That's the first part. A lot of the times you find people are uncertain about who to select, or you want to select such a wide range of people. Like, for example, you want everybody between 18 and 60. But if you think about it, people who are 60 and people who, let's even say people who are 25 and people who are 35, they still have nuances and differences within how they spend their money, what they would buy in terms of, let's even say, clothing, what their interests are. So you have to be very clear about who it is that you are targeting, who's your ideal customer. The second thing that you need to be very clear about is your offer. Now, if you have an offer, is not just you buy this item for 100 bob, you sell it for 150, you make 50 shillings in between. That's an offer, 100 bob. Your offer should be crafted in a way that it demonstrates even more value, because that's people actually a little secret here. People don't buy what they don't spend 100 shillings for what they think is worth 100 shillings. They spend 100 shillings for what they think is worth more than 100 shillings. So if what you're offering is demonstrated at 100 shillings, most people will just say, oh, let me think about it. You need to demonstrate that it's worth much more than 100 shillings. So that's the thing. You need to create that kind of an offer that presents as being worth much more than what you're asking for in pricing. Can open this now. So that's the thing about the offer. Then the third thing that you want to do is to get your messaging right. Because if you get your messaging wrong, you won't get the conversions, because people will just, even if they need what it is that you have to offer, they won't buy it. They won't stop to read or to see or to click to find out that what you're providing is actually a solution for them. Second, the algorithm won't give you that traffic. So unfortunately, if the algorithm doesn't give you that traffic, then you're going to end up paying more for each person that they give you, because they are risking that person leaving the platform. Because if what you're offering is not interesting, then they're taking the risk that this person will eventually get tired of seeing a lot of ads that are not interesting and go to a different platform. And that's not what they want. So you have to get your messaging right. Like copywriting, and copywriting is what I call salesmanship in print. It's so important, and it's such an important part of the program that I take people through, because it's one of those things. It's an art and a science, but it requires practice to get better. If I look at some of my first posts when I first started creating a mailing list and writing to the people on my mailing list, when I look at those first posts, I actually cringe. I'm like, oh my gosh, who wrote those? Like, they were bad. My first videos were bad. My first ads were not great. You get better with time. But a lot of the things that I have refined over time, I have refined so that I can teach people how to do them well, so that they don't have to suffer like I did, doing the wrong things, doing things that don't work. If you follow what it is that I share, like you're going to get there much faster than even I did. So your message is important, how you craft that message. The fourth thing is how you set your ads up on the platform. That setup it's really important. I was just going to say it's an easy part of the training, because all you have to do is just watch a tutorial which I've prepared for you with my screen, and you can see what to click, where to click it, and I've told you the logic between why to deselect this box, what to select in terms of your audience, how to select your audience, how to see the things your audience is interested in, so that if you have an audience, let's say like parents, and you're wondering, is parents the best audience for my business? I can show you how to check what most people who qualify as parents, as an audience, are actually interested in. What are they looking at? What are they? What are their interests? What pages are they following? So that you can use that to determine whether this is actually the best audience for you, or whether you should select a different audience. And you can keep checking the different audiences to see the one that matches what it is that you want. So there are a lot of things that you would be able to shortcut the process by learning through somebody who's actually done it and done it well. So that's the thing. How you set up your ads on the back end of the system is super important. It's easy when you have somebody who actually guides you through the process and knows how to troubleshoot in case there's a problem. But it's very hard for you to figure out what buttons to push and where to put everything if you don't understand what the algorithm prefers, what it needs in terms of testing, how to select the right audience and figure out what it is that will enable them, what it is that they are already interested in, so that you can see whether this is the kind of person you want to be targeting. So the setup on the platform is super important. That's the technical stuff. But if you get those nuts and bolts wrong, your ad's not performing, it doesn't deliver as you expect, and unfortunately, you're still going to spend money in the process. So it's always better to learn from somebody who's done it and somebody who can guide you and show you exactly how to do it, so you don't make some of those mistakes. And now the fifth part. So the fifth part is, water, anyone? All right. So the fifth part is how you do what I call retargeting. Actually, what we generally call retargeting. Because most of the conversions, and data has shown this, that most conversions happen after somebody has seen your ad multiple times. And the magic number, depending, so between the first time somebody sees your ad, only 2% of the people who see it will actually take action on it and buy. The best conversions, 80% of the conversions, happen between the 5th and the 12th time. Now, that means that if you're targeting Jacqui, when Jacqui sees your ad the first time, she has a 2% chance of taking action and buying, if that's something she wanted. There's a higher chance that Jacqui will convert, if 80% chance, if she sees it more than 5 times. So the beauty about the social media platforms, and this is advertising generally, is that you're able to see who took action on your ad. So unlike distributing flyers or putting up posters on places, you don't know who saw it and whether they were a good match and whether they were actually interested. But on this platform, and the beauty about the fact that it's so advanced in terms of even the reports that it generates, is you're able to see who took action. And then you can target those who took action and what stage of action they took. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have an e-commerce store. So you're selling books online. I love books. So yes, let's talk about selling books online. So you have an ad, you're targeting book readers like Jacqui, and Jacqui sees this ad, clicks on the ad, but doesn't go to your website. That's stage 1. Tomorrow, Jacqui clicks your ad, goes to your website, but doesn't buy. That's the second stage. Day 3, Jacqui clicks your ad, goes to your website, puts the item in the cart, but doesn't check out. Day 4, she goes through that entire process, clicks the ad, goes to your website, adds the item to the cart, and just before she buys, there's an issue. Let's say it's a technical issue, so she's not able to complete the transaction. Day 5, she's able to go through that entire process and complete the transaction. So she's able to click the ad, go to your website, add the item, to go through the process, make the payment, order it for delivery, and it's done. Now, depending on what you want to tell Jacqui again, you're able to create different messages or retarget her with the same message, depending on what action she took on day 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. So day 1, she clicked. You're sure she was interested because she clicked on it. So maybe she got distracted or something happened. So you can reach her again tomorrow to remind her. Day 2, she clicked, she went to your website, but she didn't buy. She didn't put anything into the cart. You can target her differently. Day 3, she put the item into her cart. You can now even give her a discount and tell her, if you buy this item, we notice you put this item in your cart. If you buy it today, I'm giving you 5% off. Here is the discount code. So you can create a different message. If it failed, you can create a different message. Once she buys, because I've just told you I love books, so chances are if I buy one book today, you can target me tomorrow to buy a different book. So there are different stages of being able to retarget somebody. And when you have a platform like this where you can create different buckets and be able to create either the same ad or different ads to retarget these people, depending on what stage they are in, you can see the opportunity there. You can see that if you're selling household items and somebody last month bought a TV, that it's going to be a lot easier to sell them a home theater or upgrade their home theater. You can see somebody who bought a new phone last month, and you can see what phone they bought. It's easy to target them on phone accessories. You already sold them the phone. Or somebody who bought phone accessories, maybe they bought a screen protector, or they bought a cover, or they took repair services. You can retarget them, offering them a really good deal on a brand new phone. This platform is so robust, and it's so useful for us small business owners, or what I prefer to call growing business owners, that if you don't take advantage of it, you only have yourself to regret in the end. Because this is the way marketing, this is the most modern tool for marketing today. And if you're not doing it, then unfortunately you're going to be left behind. But even worse is if you're doing it wrong and you have no clue how to correct, you're going to end up in this spiral. You're going to be like the guy who's trying to teach himself how to drive. No driving instructor, you're occasionally hitting people and things, you get yourself into trouble. And I'm glad that the government wouldn't even allow you on the road without a driving license. But assuming that you could, you can imagine the damage you'd cause. That's the same thing with social media. If you don't understand how to use Facebook well, like if you don't understand how to utilize it well, then you just end up doing the wrong things over and over again. And then that's when I end up hearing people coming and complaining. Even in groups, I read people saying it doesn't work. It doesn't, Facebook ads don't work. I tried it, it doesn't work. I'm thinking, wow, you tried it, it doesn't work. I try it, I use it, it works. It's not the platform, it's the user. So you want to learn how to use it well, to use these tools. In addition to using them, you want to understand how best to use them so that you can maximize the return that you get on this platform. Yeah? Cool. Let me see. I'm seeing a question here. It's strange that the more Expensive. Yes. Yeah. So the more ineffective you are, by the way, they will charge you more for it. So you'll pay more per click. That's a good question. You'll pay more per click if your ad is ineffective, if it's not engaging people, because all social media platforms want to keep people on their platform the longest. So if your ad is not engaging people, that means they're risking people leaving by showing your ad. So they charge you more for it. And in reverse, they reward you for having an ad that's engaging. So you pay less for it. It's almost like a reward, a discount that you get for creating an ad that actually helps to keep people on the platform longer. Yeah, you're welcome. The process you describe, I've done many, many times, and many times I leave these items in the cart. Never knew it cost somebody money. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm beginning to get, yeah, it's true. It costs the person who put out the ad money. They put out the ad, so you add the item to the cart, but you don't check out. It costs them money. Yet, if they just sent you like a prompt a couple of times after that, you're more likely to then buy because you've shown interest. You've even shown interest on exactly what it is that you wanted by putting it in the cart. So it makes it very effective if you're and efficient if you're able to target this person again tomorrow. And now that you know them and you even know that they put the item in the cart, give them something to make them, to nudge them into taking action quickly. Yeah, so that's a good question. So cool. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is if you've come here through my email or yeah, because I had the technical issue earlier on the webinar, what I'm going to do is afterwards I'm going to send you an email with more details on what to do to join the program. So I would love to still share with you the presentation that I had prepared with you and to tell you more about the program, but I'll send you an email and I'll send details of what the program entails. It's an 8-week program. My students have a lot of success, and that's why I wanted to share with you the presentation, because I have the testimonials from them and what kind of success they've achieved. So since I can't share that with you, I'll send an email with more details, but I'll also still have the webinar on Thursday. So this coming Thursday, 4:15, same time, same place, I'm still going to hold the webinar. And there I'll actually include the link for how you can join the program right away and more details about the program and what the curriculum looks like. So yeah, so join me there. Yeah, fantastic. So I would like to first of all say thank you. Let me know how it was. I would love to see in the comments what, from the people who are here, how has your experience been? Do you have any more questions around ads? And let me see. Yeah, any more questions around advertising on Facebook? And if you'd like more details on the program, also let me know in the chat. And then yeah, I can keep you posted on how to do that. Email would be best because then I can include more information and also include the link to join the program. All right, cool. So with that, I don't see any more questions coming up. So with that, I would like to say thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you again for being here and for switching from the webinar that you had already registered for to this. So I'm really grateful that you've actually joined me, which is really great. And I hope now you have a better understanding around how ads work and how you can, the opportunity that exists to use them in your business. Oh, cool. Silas, awesome. Cool. Okay. So Silas, if you could just drop me your email, I'll quickly copy it and then I'll send you an email with more details. Cool. Yeah. In terms of marketing services, kindly highlight on marketing of services as well. Yeah, that's a great question. In terms of marketing services, because what most of my experience has actually been around marketing services, even if I have students who have both services and products. But marketing services becomes what I love to do with services is to turn a service into a product. So not just look at a service and say, not just look at a service and say, you're selling, let's say, graphic design services. How about creating a package where you say, I'll create for you 4 items each month, and this is the package. And this is the package if I'm going to create for you 10 items. And this is the package if I'm going to create for you unlimited items, terms and conditions apply. So you create a product that you're now able to get people to buy, as opposed to selling it as a service where you just say, oh, I do graphic design services. Does it make sense? Where you're able to create this product that you can now push to your customers. Sorry, got a bit distracted because there's noise behind me. But yeah, that's the best way for when selling a marketing a service. Turn it into a product that you can then push easier. Even when you do ads, even when people land on your website, they know what they're getting. They're not just landing on your website for you to just promote the fact that you exist. They're landing on your website and they can actually select something that they can buy. Because at the point at which they're landing on your website, they probably have a need that they need met now. They don't want to have to wait until Monday to make some phone calls or get an email and do a back and forth. You want to make it as easy as possible. So turn your service into a tangible product so that you can then, that helps you in how you package it and how you sell it online. Yeah. So Silas, cool. Silas, if you are awesome, I've just seen your email. I'm copying that now. I am going to send you an email with more details, and then you and I can talk after that. Cool. So Silas, I have your email address. Cool. And then what's your take on boosting ads in the beginning? You mentioned it as a don't. Yeah. So boosting ads doesn't give you the return that you expect. So when you boost an ad, you're boosting a post. Actually, it's called boosting your post. So you're boosting this post, which could have been a post of something that was not well designed in the first place. So the thing that people find when they boost their posts is, one, they wonder why after that all the other posts start performing badly, because Facebook now wants you to continue paying them to make your posts popular. So this is what I mean. If you continuously keep creating and boosting your posts, when you stop, you notice that suddenly your traffic goes down, your engagement goes way down, because now the algorithm now expects you to pay for it. The other thing about boosting posts that's a problem is that you don't have much control over the different things that you can select when you're using the system or to create the ad, as opposed to boosting the post. And sometimes, like what you'll notice even on my page, is when you see my ad is not a post. So I have my posts that I use to engage people separately from my ads. So yes, you can combine them or you can separate them. So your page doesn't have to be something where you just create things you're always selling on your page. You can have a page that engages, educates, inspires, all these nice things. And then when it comes to selling, you now create ads to sell. And they don't have to be visible to people who follow you. So when boosting a post, you don't have that same opportunity to select those things. Yes, you can later on come and hide it, but then it's better to not have to boost the post. Another thing with boosting a post is when it comes to selecting different metrics, like, yes, you can select audience, yes, you can select, all these different things, but there are different parts of the back end and how it does the reporting that are not visible to you when you boost a post. So when you boost a post, the things that you'll end up seeing mostly are just engagement and likes. But when I'm running my ads, I want to see more. I want to see things like with my custom conversions, I want to see how many people clicked. If we use the example that we used about the e-commerce store, how many people clicked, how many people put items in their cart, how many people didn't pay, like put items in the cart but didn't buy them. So I want to see a lot more, which I can't see when I boost a post. Yeah. Can a group pay per one program? No, it's per person. So the program is per person, because even the training is per person, the engagement is per person. Now, if you have a business partner, like if it's you and a business partner and you want to do the program together and attend the coaching sessions together, then that's fine. But it's per person. Awesome. Silas, I'm happy. Like 5 people for one program. If you're paying 5 times the cost of the program, yes. And of course, I would be able to give you a better package for a group. What's your take? Yeah, okay. So I've answered that, Kyoko, for you. Awesome. Thank you. I don't see any more questions, but those were brilliant questions that you had. And you're welcome, Silas. I'm happy to hear, and we'll engage more on email. So I'll do this same webinar on Thursday at 4:15 p.m. So you can always register for that one. I'll include the link. I'll include the link below. By then, I know we'll have sorted out the issues that we're having on the platform, and we should be good to go. So register for that. Join me on Thursday. I'll go into a bit, at least I'll be able to show you graphically the presentation, and you can also see the testimonials and see the results people have gotten. And then I'll also include the link that will take you to my payment merchant, and then you can join the program ASAP. But this is not something you want to delay. Like, this is something that in all honesty, it's something you want to prioritize for your business, because if you don't have new customers coming to your business on a regular basis, it's going to become very difficult for you to grow into success when your competitor is doing the things that I'm sharing with you to do. So if you're not running ads, or if you're not aggressive on digital marketing, and running ads is like the best way for you to do that really quickly, because you're able to fast track your progress. You're able to fast track how quickly you reach people who didn't know you exist, and you're able to fast track to increase the volume of people who get to know that your business exists. So if you're not doing that and your competitor is, it's going to be difficult for you to get that momentum, or to grow in your business, assuming that both of you are providing similar services. So you really do want to learn how to do these things well, so that you're also not wasting time doing the wrong things. So yeah. So Janet, yes, the link, you can use the same link. You'll be able to see the Thursday webinar when you click the register, and you can always join me there. Yeah. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you once again, and I will see you. And subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and I will see you on the next video, and I will see you on the webinar as well. Cool. All right. Ciao. Thank you. Bye.